Every tool you've ever trusted has lied to you about what metal actually is. That kitchen knife that went dull after 3 months. The screwdriver that bent when you needed it. You blamed the brand, maybe yourself, but here's the truth. Steel. The material holding up every building, car, and bridge doesn't exist in nature. It's invented, created through chemistry that took humans 3,000 years to understand. What makes one piece of metal sharp enough to slice bone while another crumbles? Why does the same element behave like 2 different materials? And why has every civilization mastering this transformation dominated the world? Let's explore the process. Iron is everywhere. 4th most common element in Earth's crust. Ancient humans found chunks and got excited. Finally, metal for tools. Then they used it, and it failed spectacularly. Pure iron is pathetically weak, soft enough to dent with your fingernail. You could forge an iron sword, but one blow would bend it permanently. Build with iron beams, and they'd sag under their own weight. For thousands of years, humans had unlimited iron, but couldn't make it do anything impressive. Bronze, much rarer, stayed superior because at least it held its shape. But here's where it gets interesting. Around 1800 BCE, someone made a mistake. Smelting iron ore in charcoal fire, the iron absorbed carbon. When they pulled it out, everything changed. This accidental metal was harder, sharper, stronger. It could cut through bronze like butter. One small change, adding carbon, transformed useless iron into the most powerful material humans had touched. That mixture became steel, and it built empires. Here's what happens inside a blast furnace, and why your hardware store bracket snapped. Steel production starts with iron ore, coke, and limestone in a furnace taller than a 10-story building. They blast it with oxygen at 1,500 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt rock. The coke burns. Carbon monoxide rips oxygen from iron ore at the molecular level, leaving pure iron. Limestone captures rocky impurities. They float as slag, skimmed off like foam. What pours out is molten iron glowing orange. Liquid metal, but it's not steel. Still too soft, too weak, because it has too much carbon, around 4%. That makes it brittle. Drop it, and it shatters. They pour that iron into a massive converter, a rotating cylinder lined with heat-resistant bricks. Then blast pure oxygen into the liquid. This is where precision separates garbage from greatness. Oxygen burns away excess carbon. Temperature spikes to 1,700 degrees. Flames shoot 30 feet high. Computer sensors monitor carbon every second because the difference between steel and scrap is tenths of a percent. You probably think stronger means adding more. Everyone does. But here's what's happening. They're removing carbon to an exact target. Too much makes metal brittle. Too little makes it soft. Construction steel needs 0.2%. Cutting tools need 0.8%. That's why your cheap knife went dull. Wrong carbon content. Too soft to hold an edge. The manufacturer saved money skipping precise control, and you paid for it every time. Molten steel gets poured into molds, forming glowing red billets. These feed into rolling mills, massive steel rollers squeezing and stretching metal like taffy. Each pass makes steel longer and thinner. But something else happens. Pressure rearranges iron atoms into tighter crystal structure. Molecules line up in organized rows like soldiers forming ranks. This alignment gives steel its strength. They roll it hot because heat makes atoms mobile. As steel cools under pressure, organized structures lock permanently. Controlled crystallization, the same process creating diamonds, engineered for strength. Watch sparks flying off rollers. Those aren't accidents. They're carbon and impurities crushed out through mechanical force. Every spark represents atoms expelled from the crystal lattice, leaving purer, stronger steel. Final sheet metal is so precise, its thickness varies less than a human hair. This is why cars crumple in specific zones during crashes. Steel is exactly the right thickness in exactly the right places. Nothing is random. Steel is infinitely recyclable. Sounds like marketing, but it reveals something profound. 90% of new steel comes from old steel. Melt it, adjust carbon, roll it out. Iron atoms don't care if they came from ore mined yesterday or a 1920 bridge. They reorganize into the same crystal structure every time. Your car will become a building. That building will become railroad tracks. Those tracks become cars again. Steel doesn't degrade. It transforms endlessly. But wait, steel's dominance isn't because it's the strongest material. We've invented far stronger ones. Titanium alloys, carbon fiber, ceramic matrices. Steel dominates because it's the strongest material we can make cheaply for everything. A skyscraper needs 10,000 tons. Carbon fiber would cost $2 billion. Steel costs $20 million. That difference is why your world is held up by this one mixture. Every time you trust a bridge, elevator, or building, you're trusting metallurgists who spent careers controlling carbon to fractional percentages. You're trusting crystallization science. You're trusting that someone understood transformation at the atomic level and engineered it perfectly. That knife in your drawer isn't just sharp or dull. It's a precise crystal structure, either engineered correctly or compromised to save money. You can tell by how long it holds an edge. So, that metal you thought was just strong iron. Steel isn't natural. It's proof that understanding transformation at the atomic level gives you power over the physical world. Every bridge, building, and tool exists because someone learned to control carbon to 0.1%. You see the intentional chemistry now, not just the material. Maybe you'll check carbon content next time you buy tools, because you're someone who reads the engineering others ignore. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.